Welcome to the session. The last session we have seen edge analytics and its core functions. We have discussed this particular diagram which represents edge analytics, how the edge analytics core functions are executed or takes place in edge streaming analytics, and the necessary things that is to be performed when we say processing. So in this particular phase, APU particular phase has to be the list of functionality that is to be implemented. That is filtering, transformation. Transformation may involve extraction, load, converting from one parameter to another parameter, time, the time sensitive nature of the data, of the real time streaming data, correlation with the different data when we combine with the multiple data streams, and at last matching the patterns and how we can improvise our business. So these are the things we discussed, and then we have seen a distributed analytics system. We discussed in detail about these three parts: edge location, processing, and regional data center. So today's session we are going to discuss about network analytics. So in this network analytics, we are going to discuss how we can apply different network analytics, that is to analyze the sensor data in the network itself, how we can employ different possibilities with respect to analytics are concerned, the data and its analytics are concerned with. So in this case, data which is captured by the sensor has to be sent through the MAC layer towards network. So in that network layer, however, we abstract using IP layer as the abstraction layer, we implemented IP over our IoT. So in this case, we have seen different possibilities with the network, different technologies also we have discussed in our earlier sessions. So, okay, proceeding further. So the network analytics is concerned with discovering patterns in the communication flow from network traffic perspective. So in this juncture, we are trying to reveal the different patterns that is obtained during communication. So say for example, there is a sender and receiver, A as a sender, B as a receiver. A sends some data to B. So during that communication line, the flow at which the data is transmitted from the sender A towards receiver B. So based on that communication flow, so we can trace out the network traffic, as we know. On the other hand, we may call it as bandwidth, the rate at which the data is transmitted from one end to another end. So we'll call it as a bandwidth. So using this communication flow based on network traffic, we can analyze different patterns in the communication channel, communication path. Second point, network analytics has the power to analyze details of communication patterns. So in the previous case, we'll obtain the patterns. Second point says analyzing those patterns. Once we get the data, then only we can apply analytics, the algorithms or any other tool, so that we can have a detailed description about the sensor data. So now once we detect the patterns in the communication line, we may apply analysis. So the analysis is to get the details from the communication pattern. So the previous stage itself, we caught communication patterns that is transferred from sender A to receiver B. So now, so how to analyze, how to put analytic tool into that via making use of protocols and correlate this across the network. So we supposed to make use of number of protocols to get the details of communication patterns. So that protocols, once we use that one, we supposed to correlate with each of the patterns, over the network. Third point says it allows us to understand what should be considered for normal behavior in a network and to quickly identify anomalies that suggest network problems due to suboptimal paths, intrusive malware, or excessive congestion. So this is a one important concept over here. So via identifying and analyzing communication patterns, so that we can understand the behavior of network, how that network behaves when there is no traffic, when there is less traffic, or when there is huge traffic, there is any bottleneck in that situation. So all these come to picture when we say behavior. And so we can trace out, using that network problems, we can trace out if there is any suboptimal paths. Is there any in that particular network communication channel, if there is any difficulty in transmitting the data, or on the other hand, we can say if there is any intruders, intruding malwares or intruders, or whether there is any bottleneck because of the congestion. So these are the things we can understand using analytics. Analysis of traffic patterns is one of the most powerful tools in an IoT network engineer's troubleshooting arsenal. So this is what we concentrated more on. As we are the IoT engineers, IoT network engineers, we can easily trace out. So what are the problems behind the communication channel with respect to IoT is concerned with. So via knowing different patterns in the communication line, so as we are the IoT engineers, we can easily trace out what are the difficulties in the communication channel, communication flows. So here we can have an analytic tool as a troubleshooter, so that we can easily trace out the flaws, the errors which may occur in the network channel or communication channel. Moving further, here is an example setup. Smart grid fan analytics with the NetFlow as an example. So before getting into that, we'll just have a brief idea about the setup now. So this particular figure shows a particular field area network, that is FAN. FAN analytics is nothing but field area network analytics. So FAN traffic analytics, which is performed on a particular router and a smart grid. This is what we are tracing out right now as an example. So right now we'll see each part. Please follow my cursor. Multi-services FAN site 1. So multi-services for a particular field area network. So in this particular example, in this particular setup, as we are made use of different IoTs, Internet of Things, nothing but sensors and actuators, smart objects, all those. We are trying to have our power distribution as a grid under this control. So we are using our analytics tool, we are trying to find out the net flow in different grids and its control. Grid or is nothing but the power distribution center, like our I guess you in your place, in your natives and all, you might have seen the power distribution centers. So consider, please follow my cursor as well, multi-services FAN. So this is from site number 1, location 1. So here we have a number of towers, distribution towers, and number of routers, junctions, junction boxes, so many things under this from one site 1. This is many services are provided by a particular site number 1, that is field area network. This is multi-services FAN site number 2, site number 3. This entire network are connected to our IoT router. So this is IoT router. So through this IoT router, from this particular site, field area network is supposed to distribute the power supply to various areas. So our job is to monitor the network, the flow from this particular site to the other required places using FAN analytics, field area network analytics. Okay, so coming to these individual components. On the left hand side, we have different sites. So all these sites are connected via IoT routers. On the right hand side, we have SCADA, Head end, we have some storage capability, processing capability over here, SCADA head end. Then we have network operations management tool, where we can have different security measures, public infrastructure. Then we may have flexible net flow. We may have different servers, DHCP services, and network management, and then head end. So on the right hand side, we have all those subscribers or controllers. In between, we supposed to have potential flexible net flow collector points. So this is something like, I'll give an example. Consider all these three sites are connected together as a network, field area network. This is in a network now. So through this, to this particular network, we supposed to connect a collector points, because we're supposed to merge different supplies from site 1, site 2, site 3, and then to be distributed. So over here, I'll have different collector points. So each collector point's job is to collect the power, collect the resources, data from each individual sites. Then here we are going to apply ETL, extract, transform, and load. On the other hand, we can apply processing and merge, correlation. Then we are going to distribute it. This is a setup right now. So over here in this particular network, the network as a collector point, we may have maybe using IPv4, IPv6 traffic. So that will identify different end points or nodes as a IP addresses are provided. This is shared via TCP or UDP transmission control protocol or user datagram protocol. So any one of the methods can be utilized over here. Right. So now we'll see the discussion about this one. Consider this particular setup. I hope you understood the individual component in this. So now let us have a discussion on this. So in this case, in this particular smart grid fan analytics, field area network analytics, so we are applying our network analytics. So network analytics offers different planning mechanism. Planning in the sense, the capacity planning, whether a particular area is having a power cut, power shortage, power supply, then what are the load distribution supposed to take care in that particular area, all those unusual traffic, there is a high power consumption on that particular area, then supposed to investigate the matter, right? So all these things comes into picture. So now, hope you understood the scenario along with the power supply KPTCL distribution center. So now apply this particular analogy into IoT. Consider site 1, site 2, site 3 are different IoT networks. N number of smart objects are kept in site 3, site 2, site 1. So all these N number of objects, smart objects, are under a connection via a network called FAN, field area network, which is connected to this particular router. Similarly, site 2 is connected to this particular router. Site 3 is connected to this particular router. So router's job is to route it, to provide a path. So here we can have this kind of setup using a fog computing, which is making use of centralized and distributed architecture. Why this is centralized? Why this is centralized? Because here this entire network is controlled via this particular component. So that's why it is centralized. Over here within this particular FAN, field area network, we have n number of smart devices which is distributed each other. Each will perform its own task. So that is distributed. So that we can have combi of these two. Right. So this can be managed with our fog computing. Please follow my cursor. This is fog computing. So we are merging up all those distributed and centralized environment over here. So now consider a situation. A particular device sends a traffic to specific server. Consider here I have a server. So consider site from site 3, one particular device has to send us some message to over here. How it has been done? IoT sends, this particular IoT device sends the data via IoT broker with the payload. Then using TCP or UDP mechanism, by attaching the header, the packet or data has to be transferred to the other side. So over here is supposed to have a adaptation layer, adoption for an IP, because we are making use of IPv4 or IPv6. That is to be set enabled along with this particular network, other side network, service providers network, or cloud network, distributed data center networks, all those come into picture. So now to monitor this particular entire infrastructure as a standard, we're supposed to follow some of the dedicated format. So that particular format is enabled via network operations management. So now network operations management will monitor all those network traffics, and it will perform profiling also. So why we need profiling? Because consider the situation over here. Please follow my cursor. This particular IoT device wanted to communicate something to the server. So to identify individual IoT component over here, it has to be given an ID, to be given a name, from which site, which location, and via which router. That is profiling. Having detailed description about a particular device in that particular distributed network. So that is profiling. So network operations management's job is to have all those profiling and monitoring the traffic from site 1 till over here. So what has to be monitored? The patterns, detecting problems in between the communication channel, and if there is any problem, supposed to report immediately for the head, so that it will troubleshoot and resolve the problems. Then we have application traffic monitoring. So application traffic monitorings will perform application specific monitoring. For example, we may make use of MQTT, make use of COAP or DNP3, different protocols on the application layer end. So those things can be monitored. So with respect to this, we need to have a capacity planning as well. So what are the strength of this particular channel, strength of the server, strength of the particular device, strength of this particular router or collector points or broker, and then how we can provide security to this one. We may go with firewall, honeypots, different layers based on the network that we use over here. However, when we say IoT, it is nothing but LoRaWAN, low power consumption, wireless area network, so that network server and network management system can monitor all these activity. So that is how this particular NetFlow works. Any clarification, any doubt? Let me know. So by having this one, smart grid analytics, we can perform these many analytics. So one is network traffic monitoring and profiling. So it will flow collection from the network layer, provides a global and distributed near real-time monitoring capability. This is what we discussed just now. So network traffic monitoring and profiling involves providing a clear-cut designation with the identification of each individual smart objects in the network, and then if there is any data transmission from the source towards the destination, so entire monitoring, traffic monitoring, communication channel monitoring, and grid monitoring along with distribution monitoring in the router, all these things, that is near real time, almost real time task has to be done by this particular network traffic monitoring. So that is one of the benefit. Second one is application traffic monitoring and profiling. So this is basically based on the application protocol, application layer protocol that is used in that IoT. So we may used we may have used MQTT or COAP and DNP3. So anyone based on this particular application protocols, what are the profiling can be done on the other side with respect while presenting to the application layer, that is to be discussed over here. That is one of the benefit. So it will be available with the application traffic monitoring and profiling as well. Then we have a capacity planning. So using this capacity planning, it is used to track and anticipate IoT traffic growth. For example, if there is any less traffic, if there is any chance to improvise the traffic flow, so then using this capacity planning, it can be detected and it will help in planning of upgrade when deploying new locations or services by analyzing captured data over long period of time. For example, for a consider previous example over here, site 1. For this particular site 1, if you wanted to add one more smart object with the number of sensors, then you're supposed to, that whatever the available communication channel is not sufficient to transmit and receive the data. So at that time, you're supposed to upgrade it. So that upgradation is decided by this capacity planning. That is what we are intended to, planning of upgrade when deploying to new location or services over period of time. So whenever we need, at that time we can perform that one via the help of capacity planning. And then security analysis. Security can be enforced by ensuring that no traffic is sent outside the scope of the IoT domain. So whenever there is a communication, by default there should be security issues. So security should be addressed clearly. On the other hand, security is ensured end to end of the communication. So using this security analysis, we can perform security analysis or security related things can be visited or revisited or ensured without harming the traffic. That is within the particular available scope only. Coming to accounting. So in field area networks, in FAN, routers or gateways are often physically isolated and leverage public cellular services and VPNs for backhaul. So who should take care about the network? Who should take care? Who is the responsible person? Who is responsible if there is something happened in the backend? So that's why we supposed needed ISPs, internet service providers, public cellular services, and VPNs for backhaul to look after routers and gateways. Because we may set up, please go back to the previous diagram over here. We have router over here, router here, here, and combination of routers over here. So during the entire communication, somebody should take care about these things. Somebody should be available for accounting. So they can take care about this thing. If something happens for this particular router, so that we can refill or we can alternate router can be established via the help of some of the backbone. So the backbone supply is provided by VPNs or other cellular services. And also we can have data warehousing and data mining can also be performed basis of flow analytics. Because as a field area network, based on the data that is transmitted, we can have that particular data in our DB, in a database like this in Headend or SCADA or in this particular sections using DHCP, all those kind of thing. And then we can mine it. We can get those data. Okay. Any clarification, any doubt? So one of the important thing right now in the market. So using IoT, we can control the grid power supply. We can control smart city traffic flow. We can control smart city based parking system, or number of applications we can relate with this particular kind of thing. That is FAN analytics, field area network analytics. By saying that, when we say field area networks, each and every field area or each and every part can be controlled via using IoT. That is what we intended to do, right? So these are the list of benefits. So any doubt, any clarification, let me know. If there is no doubt, we'll proceed further with the FNF, flexible net flow architecture.